This is Captainoob, and this is the Magnum from Halo, but yeah, it's a different one this time, I swear. So this is a highly customizable standalone weapon from aforementioned Halo, so yeah, it's going to be a high-powered pistol. Doesn't get more iconic than this weapon for sci-fi pistol type weapons. Anyways, we'll get into the receivers here. First of all, we've got this receivers standard, light and heavy. Light will do less damage, heavy will do more. Enhanced will do even more above that, and costs nothing to build. It's a little bit unbalanced there, but we'll go with it, whatever. Now this is where it gets a little bit more interesting. You've got the iron sights there, you can have a SOCOM suppressor on all that, so I guess this is the one that all the ODST people use. I'm not sure. But if you want to make this thing look like it does back in the old old Halos, then you can chuck on the smart link there and that'll actually give you a scope. But if you don't want the scope, you can have that thing just with the iron sights. I'd imagine you'd just be holding it and aiming with that little ridge there, but there's nothing really much to aim with there, so we'd go ahead and chuck on the one with a scope. Why not? You can also get a 4x variant of that if you feel like you want to have a little bit of a sniper pistol, and you can change the glow on this. We'll go for a bit of a green glow to match Bridget's green style, and for this you can chuck a little flashlight on there, and that'll actually give it that little underbarrel sort of greebling to make this thing look fully like it does in the Halo games, which is great, and we'll make that a proper flashlight there. That's fine. Now you can chuck some extra damage onto this if you feel like it's not quite doing it for you, but I did skip one here. This is the ammo, so you can have high explosive, incendiary, standard issue is hollow point, HP, you can have 44 magnums and 10mm, which will reduce your damage, but yeah, they're for civilian use. But gunner, Bridget is no civilian, she's a gunner, so we'll chuck in some HEs because hell yeah, let's get some explosive bullets in this damn pistol. I've already gone over that, and you can have this color a little bit altered if you feel like it, so we'll go for that one. That one looks kind of cool, I guess, and we'll grab a legendary effect on this. No, we won't. I think that's fine how it is. Okay, we'll grab another couple of these pistols and we'll take them into Gunner's Plaza. Okay, so here we are in Dark Gunner's Plaza again, where the frame rate is really friggin' good, so I'll be able to aim. And I wanted to make use out of the flashlight of this thing, but as it turns out, it's just a Pip-Boy flashlight, so we'll have to go with that. Which is unfortunate, but whatever. So we'll get into shooting some of these gunners. We've got a nice scope there, and this thing is doing a ton of damage with all of that extra explosive damage, so you will not be hearing me complaining about the damage output of this weapon for once, which is great. This is actually a cut above whatever it was. I think it was the last time I looked at a version of this weapon, the damage output wasn't all that great, but now I can safely say that this one is going to kick a lot of ass, and it's probably a little bit overpowered with its explosive bullets, which is interesting. So as you can tell there, it's got custom sprint animations, drawing and getting out your weapon animations and reload animations there, so a lot of work has been done into doing this. Also hurt myself there, whoops. Okay, so we'll move on to the suppressed one now. We'll turn our light off and we'll go into sneak mode so we get a little bit of night vision, and hopefully you at home can actually see me shoot these people because yeah, it should be nice to see. Fallout 4 vanilla darkness isn't dark at all. It's actually really bright. That's why I don't like putting all the darker nights mods on, because it just changes the game too much. It makes it so you can't see. Hello me, meet the real me. There we go, we'll just one mag you there. Who's got the better hand cannon now? Don't you pop that stim pack. And we'll quickly finish off that other gunner there, why not? Yeah, this one's a synth, see? It's got a synth component. I'm not going to bust my own head open to see if there's a synth component in there, but I'm pretty sure this one is the real deal. Alright, we'll pop you in the head, and then we'll move on. Okay, we'll grab out our first one we had, except this time we haven't got a scope on it, so we can actually use the iron sights. And I've done away with the explosive ammo on this one, although this one has a cosmetic flashlight. I don't think there's any difference. That's kind of weird. Anyways, that's a little bit of a disappointment, but we'll press on. And with the lack of iron sights on this, and the lack of suppressor, we're not going to be doing as much damage, but I have gone ahead and buffed the damage to where it was, where I'd around the same damage as I'd get with the explosive, just with the damage sliders there, to make this thing not feel as cheap. And you know what? This is about as hard as a hand cannon should shoot. So if these guys were doing the same amount of damage to me, I'd actually feel like this is a more fair game. But yeah, as we hit enemies and kill them very easily, we still remain tanky, so I guess you can never get rid of the tankiness in Fallout unless you install that modern weapons mod. Those weapons, they don't mess around. Okay, we'll move on to some super mutants now because I feel like this is the perfect weapon for those bastards. Okay, looks like a blackout has hit the Commonwealth and has hit the super mutant place too, but that's okay because we've got a super stealthy pistol and some night vision so we can see perfectly well. So I guess this is a result of some genetic mutation or maybe some gunner implants that Bridget is able to see this well during the night, or maybe it's just a gameplay perk and something cool to have your character roleplay. Although just kidding, there is no roleplaying in Fallout 4. Courtney Taylor, she made that not happen. It's all her fault. Also, whoever voiced the bloke, it's all his fault. And I guess it's Todd Howard's fault too. Sure, we can blame him too. So, killing these super mutants pretty easily. Obviously, the suppressor allowing us to get the constant sneak attack criticals is going to allow us to kill these guys super fast, which is nice because I've had a long day at work and I just want to sort of chill, play some Fallout and not play it on hard mode. I've been playing too many games on hard mode recently, and well, not hard mode, just difficult games. XCOM 2 is proving quite a challenge for me. I downloaded it the other day. It was like cheap on Steam, like half price. It's pretty good, and I use all of my YouTube Fallout characters as little XCOM operatives. So I've got Winter, who is the sniper, Bridget's a ranger, Rain and Matilda are specialists, and Phoebe is the one, I think it's the grenadier. She's got the little minigun and the little grenade launcher on her. So yeah, it's a pretty diverse thing. I kind of want... Oh, there's another super mutant here today. That's interesting. And we're not getting the sneak attack criticals. And as you can tell there, yeah, without these sneak attack criticals, it's pretty much... It's a lot harder to actually nail these guys because, you know, sneak attacks are overpowered, blah, blah, blah. I've already talked about this. Alright, so we'll switch over to our one with its little front bit there. I'm not sure what you'd call this, but it's loud and proud there. We can still get a one-shot kill there. Probably a little bit too overpowered, but again, I did make this for the same damage range to compete with the explosive one because I didn't feel like leaving this one out. But as you can tell there, we can absolutely massacre all these things. Might be a touch overpowered, but that's fine. Now, where this mod actually came from was not the UNSC Armory that I've done in the past. That's the one with the DMR and the MA5, the assault rifle. This is the Misriah Armory, which had that shotgun, that M45 pump-action shotgun with those cool animations. And it's the one that was really small. I made a joke about my character being like a 12'7" Amazonian warrior because the shotgun felt really small in your hands. But this one, it actually feels kind of right. Although... saying that, this thing's supposed to look normal in the hands of a Spartan, but you know what? Bridget's a big gal. She's a gunner. She's nice and tough. She works out. She hunts down people. She probably punches Deathclaws in the face from time to time. Who knows? We've got lots of strong, independent women there on our Captainoob role, and also, okay, the YouTube people have gone. We can go back to normal. We'll move on to something else. Okay, so we haven't faced off against this giant lobster in a while, so let's do that. You know what, and on the topic of this strong female character type thing, I've always found that people who are going exactly for that, like exactly for that sort of archetype, I guess you could call it, they've always just, I think it's just always too, where's his face, by the way? I don't know. He doesn't have a face, we can't reach it somehow, but yes, they've always sort of tried too hard about it, you know? Instead of writing women as actual characters, they sort of go for, oh, this strong, independent, blah, blah, blah. This is why characters like Ripley from the Alien series is a whole lot more memorable than people like Ray, who is constantly criticized for being too good at everything. Also, this lobster, he doesn't give a shit. He's just been tanking all of these explosives. Oh god, we're nearly dead. That's fine. He ain't gonna spit like that again, and we'll just be able to just absolutely shred him with explosive bullets. Yeah, you can fire this thing pretty much as fast as you can pull the trigger, and when you've got that paired up with the slowdown time, you can do a whole lot of damage, coupled with all of the damage benefits that you do get out of that. Oh, we died. Okay, we'll try again. Okay, so we'll try that again, except we'll go for the sneakier approach this time. So we just got to find him in the water there, see if we can't get a couple of cheeky sneak attack crits before he comes out of the water, and see if we can't get ourselves to where we're at. Never mind, he's spotted us already, and he's gotten himself stuck again. We'll switch back over to our explosive one, and we'll do what we can again. Now, a good thing about using this thing in a place where there's water close by is that you can actually use the Aqua Girl perk to actually escape detection for a second, because for some reason the game likes to think that this is beyond detection. Now, I do have, I believe it's screen blurring off, so I can see crystal clear underwater, which does create some strange things, but she's got goggles, you just can't see them. They're like super water lenses, and that's how I'm going to explain that. Also, it helps out the frame rate a little bit. So now we're back into caution. We can whip out our suppressed one again, and we can sit underwater and shoot people, because that's definitely how it works. Okay, we're in danger again, probably by those little babies, but that's fine. We'll just quickly skid across here, and we can get a Junkie's Pipe Bolty, a pistol which can chuck in 50 BMG rounds into, and the game's not going to ever question that, which is bizarre. But anyways, yes, on to the social commentary on all that thing. So, I do find that a little bit ham-fisted in some situations, a little bit panderous, and I don't like to subscribe to those sorts of ideas myself when I'm creating these characters. It's more just something nice to look at, just as a companion, something to, I guess, add to all platforms. I mean, I don't know, I'm kind of like Disney, and I always advertise my mods along with my videos, kind of like how Disney advertises lots of Star Wars toys in their movies. But yeah, you could look at it like that. Also, I'll just get away from your spit. That's only a soft shell Mirelurk. He's gonna stagger us a few times, but he'll do no damage. The main deadly part about that was I was completely vulnerable whilst being staggered by that dude, and despite being right next to him, I don't think they are detecting me right now. And also, they sort of go and walk in water like normal. I think we're back into hurt mode though, because all of these other crabs are getting in the way. So I'm just gonna get rid of these other ones there. Also, I think I just got hit by a spit, so you know what? I'm not gonna do that. Also, took a claw to the back on the way out, which is interesting. But yes, where was I? I'll just take out this one with a crit because I really don't want him around, and we're back into danger. That's fine, we'll come out a little bit. It may be if we are hit again, and oh, okay, I didn't mean to hurt myself there. Oh, we did a charging attack, which didn't do a lot of damage, which was convenient for us, but we'll keep on bouncing around like a real Spartan from Halo and shooting him whilst bouncing, because yeah, that's totally realistic, and you can totally do that in Halo and Fallout alike. So sure, you can even do that in third person. It's a little bit crazy. I'm also noticing you can fire this thing a lot faster than you can fire it in Halo, which is obviously contributing to its high DPS. Generally with the hand cannon weapons, they do make you fire super slow with them so that you don't just become an overpowered... Hey, get crouching. Okay, so this is the one without the explosive effect on it. Now I'm just going to go ahead and aim down sights there, because it's a little bit easier not having to aim down a scope, which is nice. But yeah, nothing too much to say about this weapon other than I'm really annoyed that I keep aggroing these stupid little Mirelurk babies. So if you could just cop that. Actually, no, I could use those guys as free heals, so if I go in a nerd rage. So I think they're more beneficial to me to leave them around. I just have to deal with the occasional ankle biter biting me. Okay, so we've taken these guys. Never mind. We leveled up and we didn't get to see much of the healing effect of Nerd Rage there, but that's fine. I'm just going to clear out these stupid little eggs to make sure none of these dudes spawn, although I think they've already been spawned out of, otherwise they'd be moving around. So there you go, you can actually take on lobsters without, you know, relying on sneak attack criticals, which is great. Any weapon where you don't have to rely on sneak attack criticals to do actual damage is a pretty good weapon. Anyways, we'll move on to something else and shoot something else. Although sometimes I think calling my companions characters is sort of a stretch, because they really don't have much to say, because my dialogue is pretty limited. Like I said, I'm not a writer, I'm a bloody roof plumber, so there you go. So we're doing pretty well on this Mirelurk. We're just going to back off a little bit, see if we can't get a better shot at it as it comes up. I'm not sure if we've actually made the thing mutate yet. Probably have, because we're doing that much damage to it. But with the sneaky approach, you can tell... yeah, you can make this thing do a whole lot more damage if you get it up with all of the sneaky perks, which is great. Oh, I've killed him already. But I often do wonder which companion mod is people's favorite, because I've heard people say that Bridget is their favorite. I know that anonymous person loves Winter, which is great because why wouldn't ya? And I believe Hentai Girl likes Matilda the best. He even asks for her after she hasn't been on for a long time. And by the way, about that, I usually have my characters going like once per day, sort of as a rotation thing in the order I've created them. So Rain will be tomorrow, then Phoebes, and then Ella, and then back to Matilda, then Winter. So yeah, that's how things are ordered around here. So I guess once we get all 7 going, we can have like a character for each of the day. So when everyone's excited for the weekend, maybe Rain will be the Friday character or something like that. Who knows? But anyways, that was the Misriah's Armory M6 Magnum there, and it is a top tier weapon, top quality. I'm not sure if they're rips or not. It is on Gun Network, so yeah, it's not explicitly stated that it's rips, but if they are, they did a pretty fine, good job porting them into Fallout 4, integrating them into the animations and all the bones there, and yeah, everything works really well, so I highly recommend this mod. Although the MA5D assault rifle, while it does have counters, like bullet counters in this one, due to a little bit of script extended nonsense there, it's a little bit broken for me. It drops a whole heap of frames when I shoot it, which is not ideal, and the UNSC Armory version has better reload animation, so I'd say use both of these. You can get the best of both worlds out of them. I'd suggest using this one's pistol and the DMR and the assault rifle from the other ones, and just have a whole bunch of Halo stuff all around. There's even some, I think it's the Mark 5 or so armor on the Nexus. I think it's the Halo 5 armor, which is done completely from scratch, and it actually looks pretty good. I'd be wearing it right now, but I forgot to download it now that I remember it. But whatever, that's enough for this thing. Link will be in the description, so will the Bridget Companion mod. Keep in mind that's for all platforms too. See you next time.